Do you have vision for the valley? My name is John. Welcome to day 33. We're on our journey to the cross. And a week from right now is going to be Good Friday, and we're getting close. We're getting close to the culmination of this 40-day Lenten journey. We are fasting and we are feasting. Today we're going to feast on Psalm 23. If you have a Bible with you, you can open up to Psalm 23. This is a Psalm of David. A Psalm of David. David writes Psalm 23 not as a young guy, not as someone that would be a potential valley walker, but someone who was a valley walker. David writes Psalm 23, we believe, as an older man. And if you know any of David's story, this guy experienced so many different valleys. Valleys are like storms. A lot of time we talk about storms at Mission. Valleys, synonymous for the same exact thing. They are inevitable, but valleys are also, in many ways, invaluable. Typically, in hindsight, when you look back on that valley experience, you will see, oh my goodness, that valley did something to me. And so today we're looking at Psalm 23. Psalm 23, if you have a Bible, you can open up. Let me read God's word to you. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. Your translation might say still waters. I love every single morning going with my dog to this place, my special little sacred ground, and it's an elevated area, and I look down on this little hidden lake where I live, and the water is still. It was this morning, sun was coming up. Oh, it was amazing, and I was reminded yet again that if I'll let my shepherd, he will lead me beside still water. It's that experience that although life can be turbulent, inside in our soul, our shepherd will lead us to still water, to quiet waters. God's word says that he restores my soul. He goes on to say, he guides me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. There's so much I could say about the power and importance of that phrase, his name's sake. We just got to remember that God has written his name on our life. And so he is sovereign and he is all powerful, and he's going to continue to guide us and lead us because he is our good shepherd. He's going to do this for his name's sake. Verse 4, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. For some of you, your translation says, even though I walk through the darkest valley. Some of you right now, you're walking through dark valleys. There's a number of folks in our church that I love dearly and deeply that just got some really painful and difficult diagnoses in their life of cancer, and so many others that I'm unaware of, that you're going through things that maybe no one knows. It may not be a diagnosis, but it could be a situation with your career. It could be a situation with your child. It could be a situation within your marriage. It could be a situation within your friend group where you feel like you're on the outside looking in. It's a dark valley. Valleys are unavoidable. Valleys are something that you and I will experience. And yet God has something for us in the valley. It goes on to say, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Verse 6, surely goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. We're going to work the discipleship triangle today, working with the up, in, and out question. And for me, the up question, reading that, this is how I framed it up. This makes God's word stick with me all day. Here's the question: do you have vision for the valley? Do you have vision for the valley? Why? Valleys are inevitable, but they're also invaluable. Valleys, difficult moments, difficult seasons, dark times. These valleys of life, they are unavoidable. They are inevitable, but God can use these valleys for significant things. I want to share with you 4 ways that God will use the valley if you're open to it. The valley does a lot of different things in our life. The first thing that the valley does is this: the valley reveals. Valleys are revealing. They reveal a lot of different things. One of the things that the valley will reveal is who your shepherd actually is. I think the question as we're looking into this, when you experience a valley moment, some of the pain of the valley is you realize in that moment that you've been your shepherd. And it's a time for confession. It's a time for honesty. It's a time for you to let God know what he already knows, which is you have been shepherding your own life. We would call this secular humanism that easily can drift within the Christian circles, certainly even in our church for sure. You could define secular humanism this way: someone who retains Christian values without Christian faith. I mean, they believe in God, but if you're really honest, you're your own shepherd. For you, true north is all about ambition. It's all about working harder. It's effort. It's self-mastery. And so when you enter the valley, when you are your own shepherd, get ready for despair. Get ready for exhaustion. The valley reveals this. The valley reveals who your shepherd actually is. And so in that, it becomes an opportunity for you, for the first time or yet again, to say, God, would you be my good shepherd? This is what the valley does. It reveals. Valleys are revealing. Secondly, valleys are dark. They are. And those of you that have walked through dark places, literally, you know when you're walking in the dark, you need protection and you need guidance. When you're walking in and through the dark, this is when you feel incredibly vulnerable, and God knows that you and I would have these dark experiences. Valleys are dark. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, in these valley moments of life that you have and will experience, you need more than grit, you need a guide. And grit is a really good thing. I work on it all the time, I really do. I have a value of grit for sure. Some call it endurance or perseverance. But in a valley, in a dark valley, you and I need a guide. There's over 100 names given to describe Jesus, who is God. And to me, one of my favorites of that list of 100 is that he is Emmanuel. He is God with us. He's with us in the high places. He's with us in the low places. And David writes this: even though I walk through the darkest valley, I won't be afraid. Why? You are with me. Number 3, valleys are fertile. Valleys are fertile. This is true. The best grapes are not grown on the mountaintop. No, they're grown in the valley. Some of you wine enthusiasts, you know this. This is where the best stuff grows. It grows in the valley. And I just want to remind you what you already know. Valleys are fertile. They are. They're fertile for a deeper belief, and they're also fertile for bitterness. You will not exit the valley the same. The choice is yours. If you cooperate with your good shepherd, you will exit this valley transformed more and more into the image of God. But the other is true as well. I know plenty of people that have exited a valley of difficulty, a valley of testing, and they've actually exited the valley worse than how they entered the valley. Will you trust your good shepherd today? This valley is fertile. The fourth and final, then I'm going to be done. The valley. There's so many truths about the valley. This fourth one is so important for at least one of you to hear. Valleys are temporary. They're not forever. Valleys are temporary. Notice where David walked and where David dwelled. To me, this was one of the things that jumped off the page in prepping for today. Notice where David walked. Notice where he dwelled. He walked in the valley, but David says, I dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Listen, Valley Walker, this valley is temporary. You will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Which of these 4 truths about the valley did you need to hear today? Revealing, dark, fertile, or temporary? I hope and pray that today was encouraging to you. Do you have vision for the valley? Hey, go ahead and hit that like button right underneath here. It helps get the word out. You can share this with a friend, with a family member who is going through a valley experience. Let's get the word out. That is all we have today for day 33. Tomorrow, Michelle will be joining me for some contemplative prayers, so check out day 34, and then I'll see you certainly again for day 35. Have a great rest of your day.